Good afternoon. My name is Melissa Robinson and I am with the National Park Service. I will be discussing the North Cascades Grizzly Bear Restoration Project. The North Cascades are located in north central Washington State and south central British Columbia. The grizzly bear has been on the endangered species list since 1975. 1996 was the last confirmed sighting of a grizzly bear in the North Cascades. The North Cascades grizzly bear recovery was prompted soon after the last sighting. It was decided in 1997 that the North Cascades ecosystem would be the most appropriate environment for grizzly bears to be transported to in order to grow their species. The North Cascades has an ecosystem that is intact and grizzly bears have survived in the past, making it the perfect option for recovery. Overall goal is to increase the population of grizzly bears to 260 to 100 years. Restoring the grizzly bear population in the North Cascades would lead to a better ecosystem overall. Ultimately, the North Cascades were chosen because of the habitat and types of food available to grizzly bears. The grizzly bears need to be placed into an ecosystem where they can thrive so they will be able to reproduce. Grizzly bears are known for being excellent diggers, and because of this skill, they contribute to the health of the soil by making it nitrogen-rich and aiding in the spreading of seeds along with enhanced function of the plant species. Grizzly bears also would help with the effects of climate change. Grizzly bears increased biodiversity. If grizzly bears could come back to the North Cascades and thrive, the benefit would be having a healthier plant species and in return, allow for other animals in the ecosystem to thrive in a symbiotic way. Grizzly bears moving into the North Cascades would have a positive health impact on the ecosystem. Grizzly bears would make the land richer along with increasing the bear population. Grizzly bears help regulate insect populations and help with the decaying process in the forest. Grizzlies hunt, which feeds them and helps keep other predatory animals in check. Grizzly bears help with the nutrients in the soil, such as ammonia and nitrate levels. By having a healthy forest ecosystem, this supports the health of humans in a variety of ways. Water is purified and the air we breathe is cleaner and contains richer oxygen levels. Cattlemen and livestock associations do have concerns regarding loss of their own livestock. Ranchers and farmers are also concerned about their own safety. Grizzly bears have attacked livestock before, however, it is not common. Statistically, the incidence rate is low. Grizzly bears are mainly omnivores and are mostly content to eat berries and plants. In other areas, there has been a fund in place to reimburse ranchers and farmers for their monetary loss from damage from grizzly bears. A similar fund would be set up in the North Cascades as well. Minor losses would average $1,000 to $5,000 per year. Humans that frequent the North Cascades would still be encouraged to do so, as grizzly attacks on humans are very rare. The public must become educated to minimize negative interactions between grizzly bears and humans. The goal of the recovery is to grow the grizzly population to 200 bears. There are 4 alternatives. The first one involves transporting 10 bears into the North Cascades and waiting a few years to see what happens. At year 5, more bears would be transported until the number of bears was 25. Grizzly bears take a long time to reproduce, so this plan would take 60 to 100 years for grizzly bears to be completely recovered. The second alternative doesn't vary too much from the first alternative. The plan would be to transport 5 bears for 5 years. The time frame for the bear population to grow to the goal of 200 bears would be between 60 and 100 years. The third alternative would be to transport 5 bears each year until the target goal of 200 was met. This alternative would take about 25 years to reach the end goal. However, this alternative is very cost prohibitive because transporting even 1 bear is very expensive. The final alternative is to do nothing at all. My recommendation would be to adopt alternative 1 or 2. Alternative 1 or 2 are the most conservative approach with regard to budget and overall execution. Grizzly bear populations will be monitored in a variety of ways. Certain methods are dependent on funding sources. Adequate funding is important so that certain technologies can be implemented along with an appropriate number of staff members. Grizzly bears are known for being difficult to observe. The most successful method is using multiple methods. These methods include DNA samples, tracking population growth, taking surveys to estimate the grizzly populations, evaluating, tallying and mapping, seeking out female bears with cubs, and using specialized camera equipment. By slowly introducing grizzly bears back into the North Cascades, the ecosystem will improve, the grizzly bear population would hopefully increase, and the people opposing any intervention will subside. Successful recovery would include a thriving ecosystem, healthy bears and cubs, well-distributed bears, livestock not harmed, and people able to continue to use trails and the recreation areas in the North Cascades without harm.